This afternoon, the Wright family, together with the Floyd family, held a press conference with attorney Ben Crump. Wright's grieving mother described the moment that she called to see if he was okay, only to find out he'd been fatally shot.
I never imagined this is what was going to happen. I just thought maybe he was being arrested. And then when I called back, the girl that he had in the car answered the phone, and it was on a FaceTime. And she said, she was crying and screaming, and she said that they shot him. And then she pointed the phone towards the driver's seat, and my son was laying there, unresponsive.
My Lord.
That was the last time that I seen my son. That's the last time I heard from my son, and I have had no explanation since then.
Daunte Wright's aunt expressed outrage over the loss of her nephew, who left behind a 1-year-old child.
They murdered my nephew. She killed my nephew. My nephew was 20. Did y'all not see my little great nephew? Did y'all not see that beautiful baby? He is fatherless. Not over a mistake, over murder.
Daunte's aunt also said her nephew had a personal connection to George Floyd.
And the craziest thing is to find out today that my family has connections to this man, to this family. His girlfriend was a teacher for my nephew.
My Lord.
The officer who shot and killed Daunte Wright is Kimberly Potter, a 26-year-old veteran of the Brooklyn Center Police Department who had also served as president of the police union. Yesterday and again this morning, Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott made clear that Potter should be fired, and he had the power to do so. That's because the city council granted the mayor command authority over the agency last night. They even recommended that Officer Potter be fired. Instead, we learned from Mayor Elliott in a chaotic press conference today that Potter had resigned, a move that could preserve her pension. But the mayor seemed unclear of the implications of that resignation, which is a distinctly different thing than being fired.
Since Officer Potter was allowed to resign, is she allowed to keep her pension, and can she join another police department?
You know, I do not have the answer to that.
Did the city ask her to resign?
We did not ask her to resign. That was a decision she made.
When did she make this decision, and did she get wind that you were planning to terminate her?
I do not know if she got wind of an impending termination or not.
Mayor Elliott later clarified that he had not necessarily accepted her resignation. But the problem is, it's not uncommon for bad officers to resign, keep their pensions, and move from one police department to another. That's what happened with the Ohio police officer who resigned from his position under scrutiny of his competence and then moved on to Cleveland, where he wound up leaping from a police cruiser and gunning down 12-year-old Tamir Rice back in 2014. And as a former president of the police union, Kimberly Potter would certainly know whether resigning would help preserve her future job prospects. Multiple outlets have also pointed out that Potter played a role in advising officers who were involved in shooting and killing another black victim in 2019. Potter was first at the scene, where she instructed the two officers responsible for shooting and killing the man who was on the autism spectrum to get into separate squad cars, turn off their body-worn cameras, and to not talk to each other, according to the investigative report. On top of Potter's resignation today, the Brooklyn Center police chief also resigned, just a day after he characterized the Wright shooting as an accident. He said Potter had confused the holster containing her taser with the one holding her firearm. Never mind that there's a dramatic difference in weight between a plastic taser and a deadly weapon. And that because of where the holsters are placed in that department, it was a simple question of knowing your left hand from your right hand. Now, the New York Times is reporting that it was a more common problem among police than we necessarily knew, with at least 12 documented incidents since 2001. Unfortunately, in severe cases, the officers did not serve much jail time, or any. Joining me now from Ron Allen. Ron, give us a sense of the situation there. I can see crowds massed behind you.
Yeah, Joy, the battle lines are drawn again. Yes, there's a crowd back there. They've been gathering for the last hour or so. Protests, the curfew is still several hours away here. And over on this other side here, in front of police headquarters, you can see that the National Guard are here backing up and reinforcing the police department. So we've been seeing them bring in reinforcements all afternoon. So there's still a lot of anger. There's still a lot of frustration. There's still a lot of outrage out here. Yes, it was positive. Many of the protesters will tell you that the officer resigned, the police chief resigned, but they want to see her prosecuted. And we've been hearing from local prosecutors that a decision about that may come as soon as tomorrow. They're reviewing the case, but it's another example, perhaps, of how authorities here are trying to move quickly, trying to be transparent about what they're doing to try and bring calm to the city. Also tonight, it'll be interesting to see how aggressive the police are if they choose to disperse the crowds. The city council here yesterday passed a resolution banning the use of tear gas and other chemical agents, and also banning, trying to basically make the situation here less hostile. But again, now we see officers, police, National Guards, and military fatigues. So again, there is an air of the military here, which is the thing that a lot of protesters are complaining about. And you heard the families today. George Floyd's relatives, Daunte Wright's family. You saw the grief and the pain. They're trying to support each other. We had an interesting chat this afternoon with China Whitaker, who is the mother of Wright's little boy, whose name is Daunte as well. Cute little boy who's 1, he'll be 2 in July. And, you know, to hear her talk about how this little boy will have to grow up without a father, and how Daunte, she says, was such a role model. He was a hardworking, doting father who was very present in his son's life. Just a very emotional conversation we had with her that really drove home, you know, protesters are one thing and police and all that are another thing, but when you get down to just the families and the individuals who are devastated by what has happened here and how their lives have been changed forever, it's just very moving to see. But the bottom line is, people here are hoping for some progress. They want to see this woman prosecuted. They want to see justice. You know, so many people have said, you know, there wasn't due process for Daunte, so there shouldn't be this slow process for this officer as well. They want to see justice happen quickly, and they're going to be out here again tonight. We'll see what happens when curfew comes, whether the police let this go or whether they, as they did last night, disperse the crowd, tear gas, rubber bullets, and move people out of here.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.